revolt. That's what we see in chapter 15. Welcome to the RIP, Reading is Phenomenal, AP Lit podcast. It's getting crazy in the book right now. Here in this chapter, we see John trying to begin a revolt against Soma. He saw what it did to his mother. It enslaved her and then it killed her. It trapped her. It made her live inside her own head. She could not get by without it. She blocked out reality. And he realized after her death, Soma is really just poison. John wanted people to understand this, that it is a poison, it enslaves you, it makes you forget about reality and just to conform. So when he saw some deltas getting their Soma, he started yelling at the distributor to stop. And the distributor tried to calm John as if he were a wild animal, a savage. But John threw the bottles out the window, saying, "I bring you freedom." However, these people they don't understand. They see Soma as their happiness, and they begin to attack. And while this is happening, Bernard and Watson are looking for John, and then they get a call saying that he's at the hospital, and they quickly make their way over. And they find John. Once they enter the hospital, they find John shouting, "Do you like being slaves?" He said he was going to make them free, whether they liked it or not. And by this, I believe he means freedom does have a price. It comes with the cost of pain, the cost of working for relationships. But the pros, the living on your own command, the happiness that is brought by making your own decisions is insurmountable and necessary to live a fulfilled life. And Watson, when he sees, John making the stance, he sees this as a way to share his voice too, and he pushes through the crowd to join John. He is ready to be free. And Bernard is about to make that move, but then he's taken aback. He knows that if he joins John and Watson, he will never ever be able to fit in society. He will have no chance. And that's the difference between Watson and Bernard, is that Watson has already fit in with society, and it's given him no fulfillment. Bernard has never truly fit in, not even when he was admired for bringing in John Savage. That was really just politeness and curiosity. I just think that can kind of be related in life, though. So often people are worried about things that don't benefit them, or are worried about things that aren't happening now but could happen in the future, like with money. So many people live with this idea that one day they will be like in the 1% of the 1%. And that's a great dream. Like, dream big. I'm all about that. But a lot of times, because of this goal, people will be against themselves. They'll be against the same policies that will help them. They'll be against the same policies that are supposed to help them, but they'll be against it because it will tax the rich more. And they're afraid, what if one day I'm rich, that I will be taxed more. And they kind of see it as it's not fair. Those people make more money, they deserve that money. But I think there's an ingrained kind of desire for, when I'm rich, I do not want to be taxed that much. So people suffer for the idea of a better tomorrow. And in Bernard's case, he can live with the present. In Bernard's case, he can either live with the present, which has been his whole life. His whole life has been non-acceptance. Nobody has accepted him, and he can just live for this idea that one day he may be accepted, or he can join the people who will accept him and fight for the system and fight against the system that has so long rejected him. However, he falls victim to the cycle and he doesn't fight. And this just proves that Bernard is not a rebel. He's not a hero. And once the police came and calmed down the scene, they escorted Watson, John, and Bernard away. And the people right after at the hospital were given Soma to calm down, and they returned to their normal enslaved lives, not even being fazed by the awakening they had just seen. And so that was that chapter. Pretty intense. The climax of the book. And thanks for listening. This was podcast 35. However, we're not done with the book yet, so we're not even going to stop here. Woohoo! Yeah.